Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Today I was looking at some of the things in my room. I often do that and just, getting lost. I mean, seriously, getting lost in here. Not physically lost, but definitely getting lost in my room and in my mind with all of the yarn, the yarny goodness and everything else. And I was realizing there are some times we look at things, which is probably why I have so incredibly much yarn, is how much yarn do I really need to make that, whatever that is. How much do I need? How far will it go? Right? How far will my one big yarn ball, cake of yarn, how far is that going to go? And does it make a difference whether I'm knitting or crocheting? Yes, that is a definite yes. If you're new to doing crafts, you may have some of these gorgeous cakes. I've got all different brands, all different price points, right? This is my Red Heart. It's a wrap with 3 colors like that. This one is a beautiful Yarn Arts Flowers cake. You've seen me grab this one up here. I've got lots of my sparkles, right? I got the black one, this one. I mean, wouldn't those go great together? Doing something really cool? Sure it would. So, I've got all these different things, but how far? And I've got one. I do have other cakes that I have multiple of a color, but a lot of them I have one. And one is 1,000 meters or 1,093 yards. That's a lot of yardage. And these, for this one, they call that a size 1. And the same with this right here. It's a size 1. This is like a heavier cotton, a little denser, a little heavier. And this is, how many yards is this? I think it's less yardage. Where is it at? Where's it at? There's the ball. There's the, can we not find it there? 1,100, it's more yards. So this is 7 ounces and it's 1,100 yards for this, for the It's a Wrap. And this is 250 grams, I believe. And it's the 1,000, and it's cotton acrylic, 260 grams, 9.15 ounces. So heavier on the ounces. And it's a 1,000 meters. And this is, like I said, where was that? 1,100 meters. There we have it. So how far do these really go? How many do I need? Do I need 5, 6? How many of these things do I need? I mean, depending on what you're making, you could use 5 or 6, and that's where I come into my problems. And it's whether you're knitting or crocheting. Well, this time of year, a lot of people are making blankets, sending them off to Camp Boggy Creek, donating, or just making blankets because they love to make blankets. I'm making blankets right now. They're already spoken for, right? But I am making Alice Wonderland crochet along. But how far do the things go? What can we make with it? And it just dawned on me that recently I finished something with 2 of these crochet, and I did take a picture, and well, I measured it. Let me grab that and break that off. I did measure this, and it's a beautiful square. I got to weave in my end. It's about 33 inches square. And this pattern is called Anna's Tales. It is a free crochet along if you go out to the designer's website, or you can go to Ravelry and you can pay for the full pattern. I don't think it's a lot, but you can pay for the full pattern without the ads and things like that. But it was a crochet along at one point, and it is gorgeous. Now I did have a little bit of yarn left over, and I used some to make the lovey right here. So this is 33 inches square. I'm sure I could have gotten a little bit bigger, maybe 35. Now I bring that up because I know for the Camp Boggy Creek, if you are making blankets to donate, those are 35 to 40 inches wide and 40 to 50 inches long. So if you're making a square or you're making a circle, yes, you can make a circle. 40 inches is your sweet spot for the square or the circle. And if you go to Nancy from She's Got Yarn Too, or Lenan from Nina's Knots and Crochet, they've got, and there's other ones because they have a Blanket Brigade collaboration, and then they bounce from channel to channel, and on Wednesdays they open up the blankets that they have received for donation. You need a lot more information there, and they are gorgeous, and they're doing a lot of fun things with round blankets, making the emojis, like a big huge round yellow whatever, and then I'll make it into the emoji face. I mean, they are stunning. And that's what got me into thinking of the sizes and how much can you make with our yarns. So 2 of these with the It's a Wrap wasn't going to be big enough. I would have had to gone into 3 with this pattern. Now, granted, we do have a lot of puff stitch type things in there. And those, the shells and the puff stitches, we know that. That eats yarn. We get that. But it was kind of interesting. I like the way this feels. I love this yarn. And this would be great easy care. What about this right here. What can we do? And where's my other one? I had the neon one. I thought it was right here. And I went looking for it, and I must have knocked it off because that's what I do. But I do have a neon one that I crocheted with one skein, and it's a lot smaller. So then I went looking because I couldn't find that one. And I looked at this. Look at this. You're like, but that's a shawl. Well, yes, yes, and no. It is a 40-inch circle shawl, blanket, whatever you want it to be. Well, why can't it be a light blanket? This is a cotton acrylic, and that's one of the things that they say is very machine washable. Generally 100% cotton or acrylic, or cotton acrylic's fine too. That's going to be very washable, comfortable, easy care, no animal fibers because kids are sick, and they want to make sure there's no allergic reactions. So this is a cotton acrylic, and it's gorgeous, and I measured that, and that's at 40 inches. And that was one of these. Huge difference. So one of these in knitting, yes, you could potentially, depending on your pattern. I did this I'd made this a little while ago. I don't know exactly when I made this. And it is a big circle. Let's see. I do have it up. I did this 2022. So I did this a few years ago. And here's my Ravelry picture, right? It's the same thing. Look, it's the same thing, only not in person. And it is gorgeous. And I did the pattern on this one, not 100%. Otherwise, what I'm getting at is there were more rows. There were more rows in the pattern than what I was able to get with my full skein. This is the pattern picture right there. And when I got close, or what I thought was semi-close, or, you know, in that case, closer like in the edge right here, when I got into like those colors, that's when I just started doing a seed stitch border until I ran out of yarn. I mean, that's literally it. Had kind of estimated on that last round, so I had enough to bind off. But that's what I did there, and utilized all of the yarn to make a beautiful shawl. And the pattern for that one is, it is a free pattern. I will link that one, but here you go. It's Sakura by MMario, right there, see? And that is a free pattern, and I knit mine on size 5s. And surprisingly, it was a lot easier to do than it looks. I admit it looks really difficult. It does. It really does look challenging. And you see, that's, like I said, that is the photo for the actual design picture. And that looks very challenging. And it wasn't as hard as you would think. It was weird. It was weird. I still don't get it. I really don't. That just seems like it would have been so much harder. But it's kind of interesting to see how far our yarn goes. How much do I really need? What can I really make? So if you really wanted to, and you know what I was thinking of, something like this, if you were to do that and donate that, because a lot of us do like to do shawls and we do like to use some smaller yarns, you could do that 100% and donate it. The kids are, I believe, 7 to 17 or 6 to 17, somewhere around there. So not all of them are little kids. And depending on the age, having a shawl like this, even as a littler person, to wrap up in a light blanket, when you think about it, a lot of the kids are coming close to Florida, i.e. very warm climates. So maybe the bigger, warmer blankets are perfect, but they don't have to be bigger and warmer, if that makes any sense. It can be the lighter weight is what I'm referring to. It can be the cotton acrylic with a little bit of lace on it like that with a beautiful design. It can be upscaled. Now, that is not to say I don't like my neons. That is not to say I don't like my crazy designs and colors and fun stuff. Because the kids do pick their blankets or pick their beds. They go in the cabin and they pick the bed that they want based off the blanket that's on there, because they get to take the blanket home with them. And everyone likes different. And you know, this right here for, I don't know, 15, 16, 17-year-old young lady, I think, or I don't know, 6 or 7-year-old princess that just wants to have her princess cape and I have new hair and just there you go. And just wear that, right? It's like, I am beautiful. See, there's all sorts of fun things. So something like this would be gorgeous, a great keepsake to take home with them. It is gorgeous, and the lace in beautiful design. This particular thing with the cotton acrylic, this is not blocked or anything. This is just how it's not rolling, it's not curling. It just lays flat and beautiful with that design. It holds that lace, and you can see a little girl doing just like what I'm doing. You know, it's like, here we go, and I like this, and I pin it up, and there I'm a fairy princess and everything, and the prince is going to rescue me or whatever. I mean, I have an imagination too. Little girls have a lot more, and this could be the not only the blanket, but it would be the one that takes them from childhood till, you know, their senior prom. I don't know, but you know, this beautiful shawl along this line, and some serious childhood memories. So not everything has to be the square or the rectangle is what I'm getting at, and it can be the crazy fun stuff that, you know, I like to do. We know I like to do the crazy fun stuff. It can be the crazy fun stuff, and it can be something that's more like that, because you do have that age range right there. Generally, I personally have loved to do all the bright and chaotic and, you know, just that type of stuff, because hello, I mean, neons, but there is something special about that. And the other reason I think I brought this one up is my grandson. I do have a blanket that I made for him when he was little. His is green, and it is out of one of the cakes of yarn. Let me see if I can grab that picture, and I will show you that one also. And oh, I just logged out of Ravelry. It's like, no, you can't play. You cannot search your things, but I will search my things. I get to win. You are not the boss of me. If I have to turn off my camera, I will turn off my camera and I'll make it happen. So where's the green one? Where is the green one? Did I not take a picture? Yes, I had to. There it is. So the green one is the Phoenix Wings. And this one was also knit. I knit this one out of a full cake of yarn. And this is one of the vivid colors. Okay, and what I mean by the vivid colors is it's like this, right? This is the Yarn Arts also. This was gifted to me by Michelle Plays Hooky. It's Yarn Arts. It's one of the vivid colors. This particular one is color 509. So that's their neon colors. Gorgeous. And I absolutely love those. I'll lay this. This was a full cake. And that's when my yarn room was a little bit neater, because that is my carpet in my yarn room, and there's no way I could lay anything out like that now. Nope, not at all. But that is a full cake of that yarn, making that beautiful shape. That is stunning. That is absolutely stunning. And he wear that, you know, run around the house and everything as, you know, monster cape, because it's green and it's super bright, and it's got the, you know, the neon-y colors and everything. And there you have it. And you can wrap up in it if you want. And his sister actually wanted one too, because she wanted a cape also. But those are some fun things. So boy or girl, color dependent, whatever. And they have fun with it. They really, really do. And something like that is a shape that you might not think of. You might not already have in your head. And knowing that, and I don't have the measurements on this, because why would I do something helpful to myself like actually measure this one? Nope, I just used the entire skein. But using that entire skein or entire cake, making that beautiful, beautiful octagon right there. I just absolutely love that. Now the pattern on that one, I did do some differences, and I'll show you, because the pattern is where is the actual pattern? Not just mine. Where's the actual pattern? So the Phoenix Wing is not a full octagon. Here's the actual pattern right there. And I just mirrored it to make the other side. So I just made that completely in the round, which was nice because I had all knit rows, and with the knit rows and then just a few yarn overs and, you know, some shaping, knit two together or a slip knit. Whereas if I would have done it just the half like it is right there, I would have had purl rows. So I did save myself as far as that goes. It was very, very enjoyable. Yeah, patterns are suggestions, right? They are 100% suggestions. And it was really neat to do that and to just make that into that complete octagon and see how far I got with it. And it did make it a nice size. This is a beautiful, nice size to play with and to wrap up in and to just feel pretty. That's all, just to absolutely feel pretty. And it's fun things and other things that we can do with our yarn. And there are gorgeous crochet things out there too, with the pineapples and some other shapes and just absolute beautiful things. And starting from the center out or just going, you know, make a square, make a circle, it doesn't matter. Those are some fun things, just some more innovative. I was very inspired by all the creativity. I'm telling you, the longer they've been collecting blankets and showing it to us on YouTube, The crafting community is beyond amazing. That is just an absolute understatement. The blankets that I have seen getting donated are just the cream of the crop, just absolutely gorgeous. Some of the patterns that people have come up with, the designs, the colors that they're using, or it's just even the color placement, how they use their colors. I'm like, I would have never thought of that. I wouldn't. So if you're ever wanting to kind of get some inspiration, highly recommend you go out to the channels that I talked about. Nancy, she's got yarn too. Linan from Nina's Knots and Crochet, and link up to the other channels when they're doing their weekly openings, the box openings. And if you've got a Wednesday evening, it doesn't matter. If you're just up late at night, Saturday at midnight, and you want something fun to watch, go back and watch one of their lives as they're opening those. They're about 2 hours, but as they're opening just box after box of stunning designs. And some people, when they send in their blankets, will tell you what design, because hello, we're all crafters, and as soon as you hold up something beautiful, everyone's like, oh, pattern, what is it, what is it, you know. And some will say it's their own self-design, others it is based off of. I do a lot of based off of, like the Phoenix wings, based off of, obviously it's their pattern, but I made it into a full octagon as opposed to a half, you know, based off of. And if you're looking for some inspiration, that is absolutely amazing. And how do you use some of the yarns that you have? And we know I have a lot of these type things. No one says you can't use those, right? The rule is washability, generally acrylic or cotton, something, you know, that right there, that those fibers are great. Easy care, definitely easy care, and have fun. Well, we know I have a plethora of the smaller yarns. Why not use it? And I know Linan has brought up multiple times that the majority of these kids are in warmer climates. So making something thinner, making something that's nice and everything, but has some breathability, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? You know, I'm in Colorado. I'm over here going, maybe not as a blanket, but for little people, yeah, this is a nice cuddly soft blanket. This is one that you can, you know, it doesn't take a lot of space. Look at that. That's the whole thing. And you can take it with you. You can put it in your bag. You can take it with you and everything. So those are just some fun other ideas. If you were wondering, if you were thinking about, and how far does that yarn go? How much of a difference does it make for knitting or crocheting? If I were going to crochet a blanket for that and using one of these, I would want to use two. I would have to use two to get to the size requirements. But depending, I can do that as a circle. I don't know if I could do it as a square, if that makes any sense, and have enough with just the one. I haven't done that, but I know I can do that as a circle. And I know with the other cakes like that, you're going to definitely need two, maybe more for the crochet. And it really depends on your pattern. It really does. But it's a huge difference. It's a huge difference between that knitting and that crocheting. And for me, the joy is either way. It's which one do you like to do? What do you like to do? That's what it's all about. Because I think the kids can kind of feel that intention, that love, that generosity, that gift. So if you're working, if you're knitting something because you've got smaller amount of yarn and you're like, but I want to use this yarn and I'm knitting it, but I don't like to knit and knitting's not my favorite, no harm, no foul, right? It doesn't have to be your favorite, but if it's not your favorite, I think stick to crochet. Stick to crochet for that. I don't think you're going to enjoy your project, and that will come through. And it's the same thing if you're primarily a knitter and you're like, but I want to crochet this one, but I don't really like crochet and it's annoying me. Well, go back to your knitting, right? You know, and crochet something else, but not for the kids, if that makes any sense. I know that sounds really weird. I know. I'm not telling you not to make things for the kids. It's not what I'm getting at. But that energy comes through. That joy in your projects comes through is what I'm trying to say. So whatever, if you decide you want to gift something, make it out of the craft that just brings you joy. And I think it just fills the fibers with the joy that you have. Don't do it to the one that's bringing you angst. Does that make sense? You know, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's knit or crochet. It doesn't matter which one, you know. They actually collect some quilted things too, but I don't know all the details on that. I don't know how that is on their website, but I have seen that before. You'd have to look that up. But all of it's to bring joy. That's it. And for me, my yarn brings me joy. And let's face it, I don't keep everything I make. I don't think you keep everything you make. there would be so much. My room is already packed. If I kept everything I made, it just, sometimes things just take a little while to find their owner. That's all. But I don't keep everything. Oh no, we're givers. Crafters are by nature giving, generous people. I'm like, here, I made this for you. Did you really? Well, yeah, I made it like 6 months ago or a year ago, but I knew it was for you. You know, or I didn't know, but when you showed up, I knew it was for you. I didn't know 2-3 years ago when I was making it. That's what it was for, but that's what it's for. You know, and it's even with this one. When this one finds its new home and it goes away, I have worn it. I have loved it. It is beautiful. But I know with me, I know with my nature, if I have a family over, friends over or something, and they see this and they ooh and ah just the right way, I will no longer have it. So right now I get to love on it and I get to say this is mine, but it won't always be mine. Just like so many of the other things that I make, it won't always be mine. It will find its new home, just like all the others. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.